What's up, guys? Brett Okamoto from ESPN, and I'm joined by Darren Till, who was in the headlines this week. It came out that he had been removed from the UFC roster, and then he got on Twitter and said that your relationship with the UFC is still good, and you actually asked for this. You asked to get out of your UFC contract. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about, man. And I haven't talked to you in a few months. I think the last time I talked to you
Yeah.
was in Vegas, so we have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
But let's get right to it.
Yeah, let's
What
get
happened?
down.
What happened with the UFC?
You know what, Brett? You know what's funny? For like 2 years, Hunter was on me. Like we used to speak quite a lot. And he was like, used to tell me like, he's like, I don't want you taking fights injured. Like, I'm sick of you being injured now since the Whittaker fight. Like, it's just, we believe in you, brother. We know you can go all the way, but like, you need to really start being smart and stuff like that. And obviously, I never listened to him, and was still just fighting with all these injuries and stuff like that. And then one, I turned around to him and I was like, listen, Hunter, I was like, another thing is like I want to get some like injections on my knee and stuff like that. I want to like really take care of my knees, not my knee, my knees. I was like, but some of the stuff I want like injecting me into my knee. Am I gonna pass some of the testing and stuff like that? Like there's a lot of hurdles to get past. I was like, and I want maybe I could get surgery, stuff like that. I was like, so we were back and forth, but this was over like period of 2 years. Then obviously after my last fight, I spoke to him and I was like, listen, Hunter, I was like, this is just so stupid again on my part. I was like, I thought that, like I had a good camp and that's like, but I just didn't grapple enough because my knees, you know what I mean? It's like the fitness was there. Probably wasn't as strong as it could have been, but I know where I went wrong with the mistakes. I just didn't grapple enough. And so I spoke to him and stuff like that. I was like, listen, speak to me in a few weeks when you've settled down and stuff like that. And then I got to thinking, got to like talking and that, and I spoke to some people, close to me who I trust a lot, and I basically just said, I said, listen, until I've had the thought, like maybe I could give myself 2 years off from the UFC and like maybe come back after 2 years or whatever, and see what's out there for 2 years, see what I can do to really make me body healthy and stuff like that. And his reply was, he was like, listen, Till, I'll support you like I always have. You've always been straight up with me, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but we're not in the habit of like bringing people back to UFC. And I was like, well, I understand that. I was like, but in my head, I was thinking, yeah, your opinion will change in 2 years, mate. It's like, I'm
Mhm.
not asking to be released from the UFC to let me foot off the ball. I'm asking to be released to make a statement outside and come back, like stuff like that. So we spoke back and forth and that, and then like it come out, didn't it? Like the other night, and but it said it had been cut, and I was like, Hunter, what the this all about? I was like, come on, man. I was like, but he was cool about it, and I said, like, make sure you say like I asked to be, at least we're on good terms and that, which I am.
Yeah.
Him and Dana have been nothing but good to me, and I'll always support them. I'll always have the backs, no matter what. Uh, Even if they don't have mine, which they always have, I'll always have the backs, and that's it. I know for a fact that give me 2 years max, 3 years maybe, I'll be back in the UFC.
What are the state of your knees? I mean, I feel like you've been pretty open about it, but while maybe not telling us the full story, like what is the actual state of your knees?
It's actually quite crazy, Brett, because I know other UFC fighters who've actually got quite like the same knees as me, but I don't know that they're like I don't know they're doing everything without like I mean they must be masking the pain in some sort of way because I'm not masking the pain. Like Kamzat recently was doing an interview with one of his like Russian media outlets, and he was talking about them because he's seen them firsthand, and anyone who trains with me has seen them.
Mm.
Like I could just be walking and my knee will just buckle under me, like, and
Mm.
or I could just be training, it'll just buckle out, and people are like, "What the hell?" And it's not one of these things I've piped up on, Breck. Like I'm like, "Oh, everyone feels sorry for me," but yeah, basically, like I'm suffering bad with my knees, and it's really, it's really annoying as well because people actually like people are saying if only Till would wrestle. Like, what do people think I did before my last two fights? No one took me down ever. I never ever got took down by anyone. Woodley, Whittaker, Gaslam. Like nobody took me down. Like, so do people just think that I've all of a sudden just decided to just forget wrestling? No, it's not that. It's just I'm really suffering. Like, so I've made the decision to just stop the suffering and really go out there and look a way to just fully get them better. And
Mm.
there's there's things I've got on my mind, and I've been well. with me knee. Like I feel like I've done some sort of self healing with it myself. You know, just having a strong mentality, pushing through trainings and that. But there's only so tough you can be until it's past the stupidity. You know what I mean? And that's probably what I'm on the borderline of every time I train and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, yep.
You've never actually had knee surgery, right?
No, I've had shoulder surgery, which was perfect. I had that in Brazil, but I've never had knee surgery. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
So you say you want to make a statement outside of the UFC, like why? Why can't what is going on in your mind? Why can't that happen in the UFC right now?
No, not necessarily make a statement, just sort of like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me right now, and I don't know. I feel like I just want to take that pressure off and alleviate it a little bit and go and focus on a few other things. You know, even make a little bit of, well, not a little bit of make a lump sum of money as well, and you know, make sure all that's covered that side, and then get back to UFC. I'm still like, this is how I see it, but I'm still fresh faced. I'm still young. I know what I'm capable of. I've just got to get things right, and this is not me slowing down. This is me speeding up. Still, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, the other tweet you put out was a bunch of boxing emojis and money bag emojis. So that's the plan is to maybe do a 1-off, do a 2-off, grab some cash.
I don't know, man. Like, that'd be a good idea if it was there. I mean, from what I'm seeing with all the YouTubers and stuff like that, it's not going the best for them guys. Like, they're making a lot of money, but they're not necessarily the best fighters. Or maybe they are. Maybe I'm just seeing it from a different point than everyone else is. Maybe we're just hating because they're making so much money. But I mean, yeah, if it was there, there'd probably be something to do. But I don't know. I think the main focus is really just protect the body right now and protect the mind. And before we got on this, you said I was looking skinny. I've been really dedicating a lot of time while I was out in Thailand now to like cutting a lot of weight. So I'm very light right now. I'm very light.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, man. Like, I've thought this before. I'm like, Darren, you need to get knee surgery. Like, you just need to bite the bullet and just get it, man. Because like the longer you put it off, then the more you just kind of like spinning your wheels. Like when you say you're going to address the body, like, do you know how yet? I mean, like, do you know how you're?
I think that's one of the options, Brett. I think that's like my third option, because I think there's another option there of getting like some treatment, and apparently it's like the best treatment out there, but it does cost a fortune. So I've just got to weigh up them options. But yeah, even like Heather, who works for the UFC, she works for like the PI, the institute. She said it to me. But at the same time, it's like, this is what I've always thought in my mind. Like, I know like three other active UFC fighters. One's a champion as well. I'm not gonna name no names out of respect, but they've got the exact same like damage in their knees as I have, and they're fine. And I'm like, how are they fine and I'm not? Like, are they doing something they shouldn't? Or like, I don't know. Am I just stupid and don't know what I should be taking not to get caught? Stuff like that.
Do you feel that like now that it's out there that, well, maybe it's already happened, man. Now that it's out there that you're not signed with the UFC, have you already had people reach out to you? Like you would mention like a boxing opportunity or anything else? Has anybody reached out?
Brett, my phone has absolutely blown to pieces, mate. I mean, I've had offers, but I'm not worried right now. Do you know what I mean? I'm not. I've got. Listen, mate. I'm a clever individual. I'm a clever young man. I've got a plan in place, and I'm going to execute it. And this is all going to work in the end. You know what I mean? Me and you are going to speak in 6 years' time, and you'll say it worked out, didn't it, Till?
No.
Or we'll just speak in 6 years' time. We'll have a load of CTE, and I won't even be able to string a sentence together. Who knows?
No, man. No. I guess like would you do anything differently if you could go back 2 or 3 years? If you could go back to the Rob Whittaker, injury, like would you have done anything different?
I've always said in my life, no regrets, but I probably would. I probably would have like held back on the way I used to train a little bit and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm just that guy who probably needs to be knocked down 20 times before he gets back up. Some of the guys don't need that. So there's probably a few things I definitely shouldn't have. I should never have been in there with Derek Brunson for that fight. I just shouldn't have been in there. There's no way. And you know, the last fight, what can I say? I trained hard, but I just didn't do things the right way. I mean, I'm not trying to take any away from Zeke because he's a good guy and he's a good fighter, but he's simply just not on my level. You know, he's just not. I know that, but I can't sit here and say that he beat me fair and square. But I shouldn't have been in that fight with Derek. That's where it all sort of come tumbling down for me. Because before that, you know, I was on fire. I'd moved up into the middleweight division during just after COVID, and I was just absolutely on fire. So yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough, Brett, but things happen for a reason, don't they?
How was it just mentally being in that last fight with Drakus? Like, what was kind of the mentality that you had from round to round? Like, and I'll even add that I rewatched that fight, and even I don't know, like you looked happy to be there in a sense, but like it felt like Brendan was trying to really talk you up and get you into the fight, which you've never really had a problem with before.
I don't know, Brett. I don't know. Honestly, I can't. You know, you're always going to get the honest version of Darren Till. I don't know. It's just tough, man. It's just like in the second round, I felt that like swagger come back, but where was the power? Like I'm one of the hardest hitting punches out there and kickers and stuff like that, and I just don't do it. Like, so what's the block? What's the blockage? Like I'm knocking sparring partners out left, right, and centre, and I get in there and there's some kind of block that I can't let the hands go. Like people are shouting at me when I come back to Liverpool. People who know me, been in the gym with me, they're like, Till, I have seen you knock full heavyweights out. What's up with you? And they're so frustrated because they know what I'm capable of, and it frustrates me. But yeah, something needs addressing. Tough, man. It's tough, Brett. It really is. It pisses me off.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a mental sport, man. Such a mental sport with so many potential pitfalls.
It's crazy. It's a crazy sport, man. It's a crazy sport. It really is.
Yeah. So in your head right now, do you even, is it even like an option, like where you could see a world in which you don't fight in the UFC again? Like you have fought your last fight in the UFC, or in your head it's just like, that's not impossible.
No. As I said to you, Brent, I'm sat in my little box room here. It's like a 4x4. It's very small. No telly. I've got a lamp and a phone, and I have a lot of time with my thoughts here. In everything, you know, I have a lot of time with my thoughts about the way I treat people, the way I am with my family, where my loyalties lie, where I think other people's loyalties lie. So I'm one of them guys that think non-stop. It's probably a bad thing as well, but as I say, I've got a plan and I will execute it. And outside the UFC, I will execute it now. And then when I'm back in the UFC, I'll execute it. So, you know, as I say, I'm 30. I'm probably looking to go another 6 years. So, if I do everything right, 6 years is a long time. And I know what I'm capable of in that. You know, I know.
So this plan does include MMA though, outside of the UFC, like fighting, taking
100%, Brett, 100%. But I've just got to get myself right first. That is just key right now, to getting myself right. And yeah, I mean, it could be one of them. One day I could just wake up and the remedy could just be there. You know, like for Charles Olivier, one day he just woke up and the remedy was there, and he just became back a monster. But we'll see. I've got one person who's around me, Brett, who you know, it's just 100% now, and he's putting things in place for me, and he's talking to me, and he's helping me a lot, and I think things are going to be good. I know things are going to be good. Do you know what I mean?
When did the idea first come into your mind that maybe to get right, I do have to get out of the UFC? Like when did that first happen?
I was actually thinking it before my last fight, Brett, before I accepted the fight.
Yeah.
I was thinking because the Derek Brunson fight affected me so much, because it's just like, I know I just shouldn't have got beat by the guy, and I know I shouldn't have been in there, and even like my body and everything just looked disgusting because I just never trained for the fight. I hit pads. I couldn't even run. I could not get on the treadmill and run. My knee would, like, I remember vividly like pad sessions with Colin, and I remember one pad session I come to the gym and we were doing pads and my knee just completely buckled as like I went to do a turn, And I remember screaming on the mat, and Colin was just looking at me, and I knew he knew in his head, oh, what's this kid doing? And he even said to me after the fight, I remember he said something like, I should never let you took that fight, because I begged him to let me take it. And stupid on my part, man. It was really stupid, but it is what it is. Like Camdat said it the other day in an interview, he's seen it firsthand with me. Like, we were out in Poland for a few days, me and him, and he was training for his fight, and he had no one to grapple with, and I was just coming, grappling. We were grappling, sparring. He's seen the way my knees are. They're not good. He's been worried about me with them. He's like, brother, he's like, switch your brain on and do something about it. So I finally done it. What can I say?
What do you think of well, I did want to ask you one thing in particular about after you fought Drakus. One thing that he said, and he was very complimentary of you, you know, and but he did say, he's like, when Darren comes back, like, he just shouldn't be in this weight class. He's not strong enough.
Because everyone's on something, mate. They're all on something. Like, what are they on, Brett? What's everyone on? Tell me, like, what are these guys on? They all look solid. Like, listen, they don't train as hard as me. Don't. I tell you right now, I could get 5 people on this phone call who are the coaches in Thailand who actively said to me while I was out there, Till, we think you need to stop training the way you do. And I was like, why? They're like, you train too hard. You need to stop it. So they don't train harder than me. So how the f are they so strong and so big and so in shape? Like, I don't get it. Like, it baffles me. I'm sorry to be this. Maybe I'm being a hater right now, but they're all so big and strong. What are they taking? Or if they're not taking nothing, I must just be a fat, flabby. Like, what's going on? So, I mean, I'm gonna find out.
Yeah.
Take a load of it myself. No, I'm not. So, I mean, maybe he's right, maybe he's not. I don't know. Like, I'm supremely light now. I am really light. Like, I've been out in Thailand. There's a few good factors to being there. Like, Brendan is going to live there now for the whole year. Like, the way you can get your diet and your eating and all the day. Like, I've brought it back here with me, and I've stayed regulated a little bit. So I've dropped a lot of weight, and I've been training as soon as I got back here. Now I've been doing a lot of boxing, like just boxing every day, and a lot of road work, running. So, you know, the weight's off me. Who knows what weight I could make?
Yeah. Do you think you'll fight this year?
I think I'll fight 3 times this year.
I think you'll fight 3 times this year.
Yeah, and then I think I'll do my surgery after the 3 fights.
Wow.
I think that's the plan, Bet. And I know you tell me as a guy who interviews me, but also we've got a good relationship. I know you want me to get that surgery as other people do, because it is essential and it is needed. The only fear I've ever always had, Brett, is, and this was one story that stuck out to me. It was like a same ACL surgery that someone done, and the knee was never the same after it, and it actually got worse. And it's always like them, just things like that can't have corrupt the mind when you let it get into your mind and overthink about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. What doesn't make sense, though, is if just to say I'll have 3 fights and then I'll do it. Like, if you feel that way now, you're going to feel that way then, you know? So it's almost like you're just never going to do it. You're just like, I think you're just kind of kicking it down the road. Like, you're just never going to do it then, probably.
I agree. But also, like, if I do a few striking matches this year, that ain't no thing, mate. The knees are fine for striking.
Yeah.
Movement, everything. That's fine. I'm a masterful striker. That's it. It's the MMA, man. It's the MMA. Listen, like, if you had to ask me what do I think is a harder, like, to fight, like, let's say, for example, boxing or MMA, I think boxing, because you've got 12 rounds of just constant punches to the head. MMA as a sport to train for is just so brutal. And when you're a guy who's like me and Brendan and these other guys, let's say Leon, Hamzat, Usman, it's so brutal because you want so much from yourself each day in, day out. Like, it just wears the body to a point of no. Like, this is why I say, when I'm in a fight camp, Brett, and I start my day on Monday, by Wednesday, I can't even get out of bed. Like, I simply can't. So how are these guys making it to Saturday just fresh faced? How? Someone tell me how, because my camp in Thailand, I did 12 weeks of just utter torture. And I couldn't make it out to bed on Wednesdays, Thursdays. I'm running to the spa and just like, and these guys were all fresh-faced and that. They're all like, yeah, I'm going to do another session later. This, that. I'm like, how? Am I must be, I need to train harder.
No, man, maybe you are overtraining. Really, maybe you are truly overtraining.
It's been a factor. It's been a problem for years now. It's annoying. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, the only other, I think we've gone through it all. The only other thing I would say is just like, how has your, and I kind of asked this already, but even just like before the fight, like how has your mental frame been like on the actual fight nights, like over the last couple of years? Like,
That's, do you know what I will say is, like when I used to spar and when I used to go into fights, like I'd have that aggression factor. I've always been a calm, calculated fighter, like striking, but I still have the aggression factor of knowing when to kill and when to not. And it just hasn't been there these past few fights. And I actually went for dinner after my fight back in Liverpool with one of my friends. And I said to him, and I turned around to him, and this guy, you know, he's a very wise guy. And I said to him, oh, that killer instinct must have gone. And like we were eating, and he went, what are you talking about, Darren? I went, what do you mean? He went, I have sparred with you for I don't know how many years. He went, you don't lose killer instinct. He said, it's either in you or it's not. He said, so the fact you're saying that is, he went, and don't say it to me again. And I was like, yeah, you're right. He was like, Till, you've got that killer instinct. You've got it. So stop telling yourself you haven't. So that's one of the things I've felt like in the past two fights, you know.
I think that, man, this is why, I mean, and for a lot of other reasons, this is why fans enjoy you, you know, and this is why you're getting a bunch of offers when you leave the UFC, because like we're on, at least I feel it. I feel like I'm on this little journey with you, and you're trying to figure it out, and like you're letting us into it the entire time. So I mean, it's someone who does what I do. Like I appreciate that, you know, I appreciate that
of
lens
course.
into it.
And people really believe as well, because not only am I like a character and, you know, I'm a big name in the sport, I can actually fight. And it's like people are like at the telly, like trying to shake me, like, come on, Phil, just find out that little missing part. And it's like, oh yeah, it's a fun journey, but and I'm never gonna hold back. It's always like if the UFC had cut me, I'd have jumped on here and be like, oh, they cut me, like bastards. For, you know, I'll always get on here and give a truthful account of myself and what things are going on around me. So
yeah,
you know.
Well, and I also think, and this is how we'll wrap it up, but you're right. I mean, yeah, I cover you as a professional, but we have had a good relationship. And I do think that another reason why people want to see you do it is and they're like shaking the TV is because like we have seen it, you know, we have seen that like invincible Till, like we have seen that guy, we have seen that killer, and it's like that guy exists, you know. So you know, it's not like you're waiting for something that you're just like, oh, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. Like it already did happen. We saw it, you know.
Yeah. It's like, don't want to give an example of like fights and stuff like that, even, you know, obviously, but like even I remember I was coasting in when I fought Whittaker. I was coasting in the fight. I wasn't even that aggression factor there. I was coasting, just making miss and hit and whatever and stuff like that. So it is there. It's just I've got to reignite that. And you know what, Brett? I'm confident I will. It's just going to take me a little bit more time than it will take others, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to quit. And you know, at least I'll be able to look my kids in the eye when I'm older and say, you know, this is what your dad done and this is what your dad got up to.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate the time and the honesty. And obviously, you know, I'll be texting you regularly and seeing about these striking matches that you're talking about.
Come on, Brett. Sweet.
Right.
Thanks for your time, Brett.
Good talking to you.
Brother.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.